adjusting our videos, and I feel like better now than last episode. Cheese and crackers. Appearance is everything. I had the funniest experience. I'll open up with that. When I was in Terre Haute, Indiana, me and my girl Misty were going to go in. She's a few years younger than I am. I'm 55, as you know our age. And so she forgot her ID. And we're going to a casino, a new casino there.
Fun.
She's like, I have my ID. I go, girl, they have to know. I know we look good, but they have to know we are old enough. Whatever. But I know I check ID sometimes because it's a random whatever. So she's all nervous and just follow me. We're gonna walk in, I'm confident, like we're just gonna go in. Right. I put my ID out, he goes, it's okay.
Oh.
And starts laughing and lets her through too. I said, oh really? How do you? He goes, this right here, my gray, my goatee. I started laughing. I'm like, dang it, did you just want to look at it? Like, well, hello. But he's like, it's okay. So
he didn't even bother.
And we got through with no problems. That's a little fun.
Yeah, so at the grocery store when I buy my libations,
yes,
you know, like the check ID, it's like a pass.
Right. Well, I know some.
I never ask for my ID anymore, James.
No, I know, but I know that some of them they have to swipe it to release the like to make sure that you are of age to release the alcohol. Some places. So I noticed that also. They said, "Well, I'm not checking." One girl's like, "I'm not checking this. I know you're old enough, but it's for the swipe to make sure that I sold it to somebody who's old enough." Isn't that funny? Yes. So I was like, "Okay, it's okay." So it's not because for a while, it's like cigarettes and shit. It was like 35 and under. Like 35. Oh my god, like that was something like 35. But like now there's like no, some of it is because they have to make sure to cover their butts that they sold it to someone over 18 or 20.
Yeah. 21.
I don't know, see, I grew up, you know, over 18, I'm not anymore. I wasn't thinking I called 18. I wasn't. I swear I wasn't. And
ATF will not like that.
yeah. I know, like James, we know what you did when you were 18. Yeah. But no, but yeah, it was just kind of funny how that, as I said, we talked about last time being ma'amed and Mr. and Mrs. and stirred. Right. You stirred with love. I was like, yes, those are very interesting things. My sister loves it. I don't. But she loves it. She's like, I've earned to be ma'am. And yesterday was Grandparents' Day. So happy grandparents, both of us. It was September 8th.
I didn't even know that.
I know. It's not the most popular holiday. And what's funny is my daughter Tammy, years ago, I think when I was still in San Francisco.
Wow, that's gone back.
Yeah. She told me about it. Because it's a Hallmark holiday. She's a huge Hallmark. Her and my mom both are huge Hallmark fans. They were like Hallmark cards. They were Crown members. All this stuff at the store's Gold Crown store, their whole thing. And so all the holidays, so you knew all the different holidays. Now it's a little more trendy. They have like it's a cheeseburger day and every other thing. But Grandparents' Day, it's like it's not. I'm like, why isn't it said? Why is there more? So I have a grandparent podcast called Really I'm a Grandparent. So we talk about it. So I'm part of this whole grandparent world now. So we talk about it. But my daughter used to always send me a card. Always send me a card. And I was one of the first people to ever get cards. We're like, what's that? It's Grandparents' Day. Like nobody talks about it at all. So we're both having Grandparents' Day, both of us, the day after as we do this. So it's just funny how certain holidays stick. Because we also had Labor Day recently. As my grandson turned 18. That was crazy. And I'm just like, and now fall's coming in 2 weeks.
Thank goodness. I've had enough of this summer. The summer's been hot.
It has been hot. I'm ready for it. I'm ready also.
I'm also ready for fall colors. I'm ready for fall gardening. Just bring it on. Sweaters. The idea of a sweater today is so far away.
Oh, yes.
But I love sweater weather. It's my favorite.
Well, I told you when I wore my first jacket in San Francisco a month ago, and my hair was blowing in the breeze. I was freezing. I loved every minute of it. I was like, this is wonderful. And David and I were like, you're weird. Like, no, you guys don't know what we go through down in Southern California outside of San Francisco. It just was wonderful. It was just wonderful. Like, oh my God, I love all this. It's like, and now I'm packing for Vancouver, and
Mm,
I like to wear jackets and sweaters. It's like I get pack this. I mean, the 40s and 50s and
yeah.
60s. I'm like, oh my God, hopefully it'll rain. I don't know, like it's gonna be crazy. You asked me on my phone the other day while I was going to find
Yeah,
somebody.
I did.
So I guess I'll say for everybody on here, it's Hallmark Channel has a hit show called When Calls the Heart. It's going into its 12th season. I'm actually kind of crazy.
You sounded very professional right there.
I did as last I did 12th season When It Calls the Heart on Hallmark Channel, Crown
Mhm.
Media. And I'm related to some people who are running the thing, but I'm also considered a King Hardy amongst the fans. That's what they call themselves, the Hardys. And so I'm going as press, the special guest
Nice.
at press. So I don't know exactly anything that's going on. I don't know what's happening, but they had told me I get access to all of the actors to interview. I might speak the first. I mean, I told them I always am ready to speak. I can speak anywhere. Just tell me what we say, I'll say it. But I don't know. But with regards to all that, I'm excited to. I went to one once or 4 years ago. It was a lot of fun. Just it's a fan event,
Yeah,
and it's a mixture with the actors, the writers, the producers. We
that's
also
really cool.
very show. Not a lot of shows do that. So it's kind of like a con, like like a
Yeah.
science con and this con. It's kind of like that before they call it a family reunion. It's like we're all a family.
Oh,
It's
very
on
nice.
HFR. So I posted that I was going a week ago, and everybody's like, "Oh, I get to hug you. I get to see you." So yes, I gotta get myself ready for that.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's a big trip. How long will you be gone?
A week.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm
Yeah.
stopping in Seattle too to see some friends, and I just want to be reunited with some reunited, and it feels so good with some high school people
Oh my
that I
gosh.
actually don't mind seeing in person.
That's right. High school was very different.
Yeah, I was not a big fan. I was popular, but I was not a big fan. And they follow me in my career, so they're like, "You're a star." So I'm gonna actually meet up with them. I said, "Why not?" I said, "Actually, I
Why
like
not?
them. No, why not?"
Like it's like I think this is the era of opportunity. Don't say no.
Yes, sometimes. But,
Well, in
but but here's the
thank you,
deal.
James.
At
Thank
the
you.
same time, it's kind of funny because my school is finally being torn down and rebuilt. So Inglewood
Oh,
High School finally. Everybody was there this weekend. We drove by to say goodbye to it and take pictures. And
well,
all.
isn't it like green
Yep,
trim with white?
yep.
Yep. It needs to be redone.
It was the same. I graduated 37 years ago. So it looks just like
Yes.
so. But all the other schools around us have changed. Hawthorne High School, Lusinger, I mean, all the schools around us at Torrance High, they've all been redone. So we were the last ones, and
Well, where will the students go during the
well,
teardown?
they meant okay. So we had two high schools. We have Morningside High School, which is on another part of town. So they're going to keep that open and
Okay.
send somebody over there, I guess, while they rebuild the school. That's their plan. Now, how
Okay.
big is that campus? I have no idea.
Right.
I don't know, but that's what they were going to do. Send them over to that because they were going to turn on that school eventually too. But so they can't tear down both schools at the same time. So
Oh, no. That would not make good sense. But we drive by it when we go down to yeah, Inglewood for our concert viewing.
yes,
So and it's funny, the last time we drove by, I'm like, that school really needs a makeover.
it does. It's just it is.
It also looks a little bit more institutional than m-
Yes.
most schools. I don't know why it struck me like that, but it looked more like a government building as opposed to an actual high school.
Well, across the street from our city hall stuff too, which are all
That's
government,
right.
so it fits right in. Hawthorne High School, folks. I mean, you'll never go down there, folks, or anything, but it's beautiful. We drove by it the other day, and it's just like it's beautiful. And
Mm.
La Tierra, my old school in Ladera Heights, they redid that whole school, and it's beautiful. Like I said, they're beautiful. It's like a school. It's beautiful. They have beautiful buildings, beautiful architecture, art. And I went there for K through eighth. It's beautiful. It's just one of those. It's one of those. Right. This one's just old school. We were all slapped together in there, up and down those stairs, me ditching class as much as I could. And the usual. And that's it's funny because my sister and I, we drove by, and it's her husband, my sister and I, we were all from Inglewood, we all went there. And I was just laughing. I go, yeah, I remember when I got into 11th grade, I got to work in the office.
Okay.
I used to write pink slips to my friends out of class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be bad. We were laughing. Be bad. Now, don't do that at home, kids. Today, go to school, get your education. We were bad. But see, I was smart, so I could go in the classroom and do. I'll take care. I'll get that. I'll ace that test, whatever. Yeah, James, you missed 2 days. Well, I'll take care. Don't worry about it, girl. I'll take care of it. And I would take care of it. They couldn't say nothing. They tried. I'll tell you, they tried to get me in trouble. I'm like, I don't care. I'm smart.
I'm smart. I don't have to be here every day.
Every day. I'm like, it's crazy. Well, by the time I got to 11th grade, I had work release in the afternoon. So I went to class in the morning.
Yep.
I was done by noon.
Yeah. My first job was through work release. A hostess at a local Mexican restaurant.
Oh, how funny. Oh my God.
Yeah. I got to wear this gorgeous dress.
Oh, okay.
It was really off the shoulder, lots of ruffles with a belt around, and then a slit that was a little too high for the liking of my dad, but I still wore it. You got to play I got to play dress up.
You did.
Loved it.
Oh, I love it. Mexican restaurant. I love it. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I was told in high school by the counselor, this is what you can do. It's like you have there's these classes you got to take every year, certain ones for certain grades. You got to take at least 3 to 4 days for sure. The first 2 years I had a full class load, just couldn't get out because, but by 11th grade, you can literally have the 4 main classes you have to take that for that year. Yeah. In the afternoon, like I said, you get signed off for it. I liked working, so I had no problem working. I liked working.
Yeah, we're very similar that way. I've been working since I was 15 and a half. So
yeah, that's your team. Yeah. So I like working. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And my mom was like, well, if you want a class ring, you want a class jack, you got to pay for it. So I was like,
go to work. Yeah.
I had to work. And so I did, you want a car. And nobody would give cars out to my family. So it's like, you want a car, you got to work for it.
It's funny. When I talk to parents today, the idea that their teenagers go to work for a car or for concert tickets or whatever they want outside of like chores just isn't enough to like supplement their lifestyle. Like when we were growing up, it was just, that's what we did. There was no like, oh, you're sending your kid to work. Like, what's wrong with you as a parent?
Nope.
And I think that that's starting to come back now because my friends with kids who are work age, they're all working, with the exception of a few, of course, but there's no like, oh, no, you got to go get a job to help pay for insurance and help pay for your car. And, but I felt like there was a time where, kids were just taken care of more so that when they're out of college, they're getting their first job and they have no clue. Whereas the kids that have been working since 15 and a half, 16, 17 have such an advantage, I think.
I agree.
And I felt like I did too, going into the workplace, because I already understood kind of more the do's and the don'ts, and showing up on time is really important.
Luckily, my 2 daughters, my family, I come from a family of hard workers. It's really weird. I mean, it's weird, but I mean in a good way. Like, every generation of us, we may be messed up in other areas of our lives.
Of course,
we always have jobs.
Yes,
we always succeed in jobs, but that's not seriously. It's one of those things I will give it points to them because we didn't make them work in high school. Obviously, we didn't do that. We're like, we had to do it, so I don't want you to do it. I want you to focus on your job is high school, and they were in sports. They were in academics. So I just wanted, once you get to college, that was our whole thing.
Right.
Go to college, whatever, blah, blah. But now my grandchildren who are just starting to work, it's different. Just Gen Z, it's different. Their lives, it is. They don't know how to handle bills. They don't know how to handle balance their money. They're running out of money fast. They're not planning it. So we have to teach them. My other 2 daughters, they're okay. They figured it out. They worked it out. But you're right. There was an easier transition. I think for me too, because I didn't have it, so I had to go to junior high school. I went straight from K to A, and then went straight to high school. I
Okay.
feel like folks who had junior high school had a little more advantage than I did too, just
Mhm.
social aspect of older people.
Yes.
Like I was stuck with the young kids. I mean, I was
Yeah.
eighth grade and there was like fifth graders nearby. So like I feel like when you have a job in high school, whether it's part-time, side
Yeah.
time, whatever, it does help you as you go into your adulthood. You know what you have to do
Right.
to make it, whether you're in
Yeah.
college or not in college.
Right. And it also teaches discipline because I had a group of friends who were not necessarily working. They were like going out and, doing fun stuff. And I'd have to be like, sorry, guys, I have a shift tonight. Or, no, I'm going to work right after. So it just teaches you like discipline. You just get more of a reality of what life is really about, you know? And I'm grateful for that. The funny thing about money is when I opened my first bank account, I'll never forget it. I came home, I was so proud. And my dad said, listen to me. He said, just because you have checks in your checkbook does not mean that you can write them.
How funny.
Do you know how to balance? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, Dad, I get it. Thank you.
We don't teach that anymore. So
No.
people going into your 30s and 40s going, I don't know how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah,
I don't know what a budget is. We had economics class in high school.
we did.
We had economics class, we had cooking class, we had
Mhm.
sewing class, like we had wood shop and auto repair,
Typing,
typing. We had all that.
which is still relevant today.
Oh, it's all relevant today. I mean,
They just don't teach it.
I think trade work actually is the new college.
I would hope so, James. I'm a big proponent and fan of trade schools. Look, folks, we're not all going to go out and be super rich. And, we're just not. That's not how the world works. So, having a trade that you can rely on, you could take that trade and go anywhere in life. So, I miss wood shop, electric shop, auto shop. What was the other? We have carpentry. Like we had so many workshops where kids can be introduced to a whole bunch of different kinds of trades and go, wow, I really enjoy like working with wood and find their way. So I'm a huge, huge fan of trade schools. I think we need more of them. I think that's where the focus should be. I mean, I think the idea of college has blown up a lot. It's not for everybody and there's no shame in that. And people can make a very nice living, working a trade.
But also, I think for some people, you can still do graduate work and stuff, but go to your community college, go to your trade school, get all that done. That'll save you in money and time also. So when you're a little older, you can go, maybe you have a little money in your pocket, you can
Yeah,
pay for or finance a master's degree or something if you
right.
want to go further than that. I think, but this
Or
whole thing,
start your own business,
start your own business.
reinvest the money in yourself. I always was a big fan of trade schools. So yeah, beauty school,
Beauty
they're
school,
few and far between these days.
beauty school, dental school. It's all kind of stuff. The thing is so funny for me. I was never an entrepreneur. I never thought I was. I thought it was for other people.
Mhm.
And then when I realized almost every job that I had, I was kind of cultivating a business within a business. When you're for folks, I won't get into the weeds of it, but when you're in retail and they tell you to work a section, women's shoes, men's pants, whatever, you're developing a clientele.
Yes.
There's a whole thing about that where it's like where I was a personal shopper for people. They come in, where's James? Or James,
Yes.
you're going to be there. We had little cards. And
Yes.
I didn't realize though that I was developing my own business
Right.
within a business. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
It's like, no, anyway, because we had these, oh God, I'm not having all these flashbacks. At the end of the day, they had called an X tape or a Z tape where they would take the register out. And we saw everybody sing. We all had employee numbers you would sign into to ring up your customer. And you would see who was the top X, be like, there's Tony and there's James Jr. I was always James Jr. or whatever. There's James Jr. It's like, so it's like, I remember that was a big deal. Oh, I'm gonna take my lunch late today because my client's coming in. It was a sense of pride. Like my client's coming.
Yes.
They have a wedding coming up. They want me to help dress them. And you're pulling out tools and looks. And it's like I used to be a merchandiser. I was totally Rhoda from Mary Tyler Moore Show. I was a merchandiser, and clients would come in with their product, and I'd work with them.
Mhm.
I'll display on the mannequins products. You see dioramas, all kind of stuff. But I didn't know that I was actually literally creating a business. So in a business, it wasn't mine, but it's
Right.
still kind of that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. I worked at a sweat company, like a sweat outfit, sweat top, sweat pants, whatever. And I'll never forget my manager coming up to me one day and she's like, I got this call from a lady who wanted to know if Melissa was on the floor today. And her name was, I'm like, oh, yes. I saw her last week. She's coming back in, da 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 da. And she's like, why are people calling for you? And I looked at her and I said, because I help people and they like me. That was it. It was just that simple, you know? But I had this like little clientele, like you did, at a sweat shirt, top, pants store, James. So it
Right.
doesn't have to be, it could be anything in life,
Yes.
where people are just value somebody who takes time and interest in them and finding them the right thing, you know? And so she was just shocked that we're working at this little sweat store and people are asking for me. She was kind of surprised. And she was a friend of mine too. She was a very good friend of mine. She was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, it's just who I am. There's no doing, it's just who I am.
Let's see. And I think there's something about now that I've been an entrepreneur for 15, almost 16 years. I'm like, okay, this is my life. I love this part of it. It is tough, as you know. We talked about it last episode. It is tough. It's cyclical. There are moments of feast, moments of famine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a lot that goes with it, but I like home ownership. There are pros and cons to that too, and not
Yes.
everybody should own a home. I
No.
that too. Not everybody's meant. There's some people are meant to be renters, and some
Yeah.
meant to be owners, and nothing wrong with either side. As long as everybody plays the game the right way, it should be fine. But some people, I'm like, maybe you're not meant to.
Yeah.
Maybe you're meant to just have a nice home that you rent. You love it. You make it work for you, and you're fine.
Yeah. I find that I say 1-800-FIX-IT are the renters. The guys and gals who are doing, Lowe's and Home Depot and the do it store, those are the people who should own homes because the second something happens, they don't think, oh, I can't deal with this. They think, okay, I have to deal with this.
Right.
And I have people in my life that are 1-800-FIX-ITs and I love it. And that's good. Um, because it's a big responsibility, James. It's just, and you gotta, like you said, it's also expensive and people complain about rent, but I also remind them it's like you have no responsibility for any of this other than paying your rent.
Right.
So there is advantages to that. However, some of the rents out there are
Well, outrageous.
absolutely like you'd have to be a seasoned working professional to afford a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in certain areas in the valley that are like $5,000-6,000 of rent
I
to
heard
live alone and not need a roommate.
I heard in the Valley because our buddy Tony Moore lives out there. And he was looking at places because he has to move. And he was like, there used to be parts of the valley further out, like North Hill, Santa Clarita, all that were cheaper. Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Everybody went out there.
Yeah,
There
that's
are parts,
exactly right.
there are parts along the hill. We say the hills, meaning like before you go over the hill, there's like Laurel Canyon, there's Studio City, Toluca Lake, North Hollywood. That was all cheap for all too. Not anymore.
No,
Not anymore.
no, not anymore.
I'm like, it's just I don't even know. I hear these prices, and unless you have rent control, you've been there for a long time, like our buddy Flobo does, and a few other friends I have, my friend
Yeah.
Michelle, San Francisco. Um, I don't. Yeah, and I'm looking at these places, and I know that my aunt's looking for a place to live too, and they're not even. Some of these places are not even nice neighborhoods. They're not even nice buildings. They're not even
Yeah.
new, and the
Yeah.
rents are so outrageous. I mean, our girl Marissa, who's on the show, my buddy,
Hmm.
pays close to $2,000 a month for a studio in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she luckily has a parking space, and it's also um, gated. So she looked
That's
out
nice.
that because girls and women have to look at places differently than men do.
Yes.
And she taught me that actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough and everything, but she's like, I'm still a woman, and I don't want to walk, I don't want to
Yeah.
be walking down the street at nighttime walking Hollywood. I mean, you don't do that. So, but that's people go 2,000, but yes, and her studio's cute. She got a little balcony, thank God. So she can kind of go outside a little bit. But it's not worth $2,000. We know it's not worth it's not worth that. Come on. That's outrageous. It's completely price gouging. Even in my
And
neighborhood. It's like in Inglewood. I know Inglewood's changing and everything's going getting buck wild. We saw some rents over here, some one bedrooms, and they're close to 3,000 a month.
well, I think because you have so much going on in Inglewood with the 3 venues, right? You've got
Intuit Dome, we have
Intuit.
Five Stadium,
That's right.
yeah, Forum.
That's right. And people are really looking for that lifestyle where they can be like they can have their restaurants, their groceries, and their entertainment all within one place. And that's what's happening right now in Woodland Hills here in the Warner Center area with the LA Rams coming in. They are going to be building that stadium, that venue.
I didn't know
Because that was on, off again, on, off again, but
that. Yeah.
apparently they're going to do it. So the rents in those areas are going to be super unaffordable because you have West Hills shopping right across the street. You've got everything you need within walking distance and an entertainment venue on top of it.
And my
So
favorite Canyon Mall and Monstrosity,
yes.
my favorite. It's like
Yeah.
it's huge. Here's the thing, kids. It's I understand growth's supposed to happen and things happen, but I do agree if the jobs aren't as plentiful and pay as well for these lifestyles, that's a problem.
Oh
We
yeah.
have jobs that pay like well, and people get. I mean, yeah, folks are because I know like the latest thing is, especially in LA proper on Hot on the Valley, is the retail on the bottom, and then I think it's 5 stories on top.
Yeah. Mixed use.
Yeah, mixed use. So you have that now. So okay, so you may have a Trader Joe's downstairs. That's
Yeah.
great, or whatever, or a Target downstairs. You have an Inglewood, it's a Target downstairs. I mean, that's wonderful, like you said. So you have that everything's all at once, and you have that. You just go back upstairs to your place. But I'm like, but I don't know. But then I see they have no views of nothing, and they're starting out in the low 500s.
Yeah.
That's to buy, and rent wise 5,000s. I mean, that's
Yeah.
to start. I'm like, really? I had a customer one of those. I'm like, what are you doing? It's cute, but like it's tiny, and the walls are thin, and
Yeah.
they're packing them in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're packing them in down the street, close to the venues and the shopping and all that wonderful stuff. Like a 1 bedroom was 720, like let's say 730 square feet.
It's not big.
And it was like $3,500 a month for rent. So, and you're right, the walls are super thin. I mean, these apartments aren't built as apartment homes, people. So when they say, oh, apartment homes, it's just a marketing, to make you feel like it's a home environment. These are built to go. I mean, you see them in your neighborhood, they go up so fast,
They do.
so fast.
My girl,
So,
Alicia, my girl who lives in San Francisco, got a building overlooking the bay.
oh, nice.
4,400 a month.
How much?
4,400 a month. And it's a 1 bedroom. But she's like, James, I smell people's food. I hear their conversations. They're
Yeah.
having sex. I know it. Like it's
Yeah.
like because you're right. They just slap them up there.
Yeah.
They're not double pane windows. They're not strong walls. It's just like here we go. There you go. Got it. You have a few amenities downstairs. Get a concierge, whatever. Here you go.
Yeah.
And you paying 4,400 a month.
Yeah.
To hear somebody screwing each other while they have Chinese food. It's like, I don't know, or some kind of peppers or something. Like you literally, I was walking, I could smell what people were having in their rooms. It's like that's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's crazy
Yeah.
talk to pay that much for that.
Yeah.
So people go, well, James, I said, yes, well, I live in a house. I hate to live next to an alley, but I also love food, and my walls are thick, and it's like I don't hear my neighbors. I mean, like It's, I mean, I'll take it. I have nobody around me. I mean, I'm in my house. I mean, my brother's in the front half. I don't hear him. I'm in the back half. I'll take it. Now I have no
Yeah.
air conditioning, and that sucks because I have a whole house. But if I get rich one day, I'll do it. But no, but back to the thing before, I think it's back to your thing before. It's kind of being open. Like, sorry, last episode was open to change. This one is kind of like it's just it. The world is it's. I know it's cyclical. I have to remind myself it's cyclical. Things like this happen. They have to even out at some point. They have to top off at some point
Mhm.
and come back down, or something, make it more common. That it just can't keep going up, 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 and that's it. I mean, it has to burst at some point. It
Yeah.
has. It has to. It has to. That's what we're in the
We'll
show.
see.
It just has to. Everybody just has to.
James said so therefore
It must.
it must be.
This is episode 90 of our show, our little show that could. We get heading towards 100 episodes. It's so crazy. I can't believe it.
I know.
This is hilarious. This is Coffee Conversation. I am James.
And I am Melissa.
We thank you so much for watching and or listening to our program. We encourage you to have coffee and conversation with your friends too. Like, do it, or have your friends get together and watch and listen to us at the same time, and talk back to us. I don't care what you guys say, but no, we appreciate this. We love doing it. It's a great exercise for us to stay in touch. And and the last thing I'll just say is I have a couple of friends I went to visit. I was in Chicago and stuff. We were like so happy to see each other, and we're like we have to, these busy lives. You gotta find time to at least have coffee and conversation with your friends.
Yeah.
At the very,
Good.
you ever talked to a friend in a while? Call them and say, "Can we have coffee?" Whether it's through Zoom or in person or whatever, just say, "I just want to see you for like 10, 15, 20 minutes."
Yeah.
That's all, and then catch up. So we both encourage that,
Mhm.
and we'll see you next time.